Hi, Jamie here. I'm one of the co-founders of Jacobs Burger. Thank you for taking a couple minutes to watch this video. Unfortunately, I'm talking today about a topic that affects many people. In fact, 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men will be victims of physical abuse at the hands of an intimate partner. This doesn't account for other forms of domestic violence like harassment, stalking, and terroristic threats. These statistics are alarming, and restraining orders in New Jersey are incredibly important. But what happens when a restraining order isn't enough? That's when a no contact criminal order may be necessary to protect victims of domestic violence. The New Jersey Prevention of Domestic Violence Act recognizes domestic violence as a serious crime against society. And unfortunately, as victims know, it's a cycle that is so difficult to break. That's why there are civil remedies and criminal remedies available for people who find themselves in this cycle of abuse. Civil remedies that are available are a temporary restraining order and potentially a final restraining order, which is entered through the family court. Unlike with a civil complaint, when a criminal complaint is filed in relation to a domestic violence incident, it involves the criminal justice system. There may be mandatory arrests, there may be no contact orders, which I'll discuss in further detail in this video. But what's important to understand is that a civil complaint is meant to protect the victim of domestic violence in an expedited way. A criminal complaint is really intended to punish the perpetrator or the abuser who has enacted this domestic violence. So what exactly is a no contact order in New Jersey? What it is an order from a criminal judge related to that criminal proceeding. And what it means is that the defendant in that manner can have no contact with the victim. It's made to ensure that the victim is safe while that matter is pending. It's often a condition of the defendant's bail. No contact orders can be specific. They can tell a defendant the amount of space or distance they have to stay from the victim. They can limit where a defendant can go, such as the home that they may have shared with the victim, school for the children, places of employment, or other family members' homes. So it really does restrict defendants' whereabouts during the pendency of their criminal case. A question I often get related to no contact orders is, do they expire? Because unlike a final restraining order, which doesn't expire after a period of time and has to be voluntarily dismissed by the victim, or there's a motion that a defendant in that case can file to dismiss it, no contact orders do expire. They expire when the sentence is concluded after a specified period of time, or in the event that the defendant is found not guilty of the charges that are pending against them. In addition to the expiration of a no contact order, a victim can request that a no contact order be dropped. Ultimately, the decision is up to the judge with input from the prosecutor, but it is something that the victim can request. The victim can also request that the term length be extended on a no contact order. And that's something that, again, a judge would have to approve with input from the prosecutor. If you're a defendant in one of these cases and there's a no contact order against you and you believe that it's expired or that the victim has requested to drop it, you want to ensure that you get proof through the court system that that in fact happened. You do not want to make direct contact with the victim and then find out that that no contact order is still in place, because there can be rippling effects in the criminal justice system. You also want to ensure that there's no TRO or FRO through the civil division that could impact your ability to contact the victim. As I mentioned, violating a no contact order or a temporary restraining order or final restraining order has serious implications. It can impact your case in the criminal division and the civil division. It also can require that under New Jersey law, there's a mandatory arrest. So you want to ensure that if there is a TRO, an FRO, or a no contact order, that you are abiding the letter of those orders. Domestic violence is serious. Courts and judges take it seriously. Their goal is to ensure the safety of victims of domestic violence. There are instances where courts decide that a no contact order is not enough to protect a victim from ongoing abuse. In those instances, a court may say that the defendant needs to be held while the criminal charges are pending. Examples of that are when there have been prior violations of no contact orders, temporary restraining orders, or final restraining orders. Again, judges take these violations incredibly seriously. So you want to make sure if you you have a no contact order issued against you, you are abiding it. I hope you found the information in this video helpful. If you are a victim of domestic violence and you feel that you need a no contact order or other protections, you should immediately contact the police. The next call you make can be to us, so we can advise you of your right to feel safe and protected under the domestic violence laws. Likewise, if you feel like you were wrongly accused of domestic violence and there's a no contact order or a restraining order entered against you, and you need to understand your legal rights, we're here to help. Please don't hesitate to pick up the phone, contact our office, and talk to one of the qualified attorneys who can help you today.